Welcome once again. Today we're going to talk about the histogram, and it's really important to have an understanding of the histogram because you can sometimes just look at the histogram and really understand what it is you need to do to make corrections to your photograph. To have an understanding of the histogram, it's this picture right here, up here, and on the left-hand side here is the dark pixels, or black, and on the right hand side at the very end is the white pixels. So everything in between is just a representation. The taller this is, that means the more number of pixels that are in that region of the color spectrum. So this would be black, this would be white, and everything in between. So first of all, let's start with a histogram that's really too dark. This histogram has got most of its pixels over here on the black side. So it's really just a dark picture. This is just a histogram. It's not the photograph that's in the background. It's just an example. So that's what's one that is underexposed. This is probably underexposed by probably 2 stops. Okay? And here we have one that is overexposed. So as you can see, there's not much over here in the black and a whole lot over on the white side, or on the bright side of it. And so this is overexposed. This is probably overexposed by 1 stop, and your picture is not going to look that great. Then the last one is something that's a little bit better. This one here is a lot closer. Many people believe that this is a well-exposed photograph. From this histogram, I would say that it doesn't expose to the right, which means I'd like to see this little mountain here moved over to the right a little bit better. In doing that, we put more pixels in the higher brightness, and what that means is basically for those those pixels on the dark side, they will actually not have the digital noise that you have in pictures. So you want to actually have this mountain off to the right a little further, but this is actually an acceptable histogram. So back to this picture. First of all, I should probably thank Don and Jesse for allowing me to use their picture. This is, of course, is Jesse, not Don. The picture, this is a great example of a photograph that is really well taken, and of course a great subject, and you can see that most of the pixels are right in the middle. But when you look at this picture, you say, gee, why doesn't it just have that pop that we'd like to see? Okay, now when we use levels, most applications have this kind of a tool, but basically when we look at this as levels, we want to see a certain amount of this in the black. In other words, we want to see a number of pixels in black, so maybe right around here would be good. And then in the white, we'd probably want to see it right about there. Okay, now in photography, we don't do it based on the histogram here. We do it based on our eye and what is appealing to us in this picture. So I'm just going to take this black and I'm going to start moving this over, and as you can see, it's starting to get a little darker, and I'm happy with that. Okay, I'm going to leave it right about there. So the black of her bathing suit is actually black. Okay, but it does look a little bit dark, and the reason it looks a little bit dark in this picture is right now that the whites are really not white. So now that I've made my adjustment here, I'm going to go up to the white. I always prefer starting with the black, then working with the white, move this on down, and there. And I think it's actually pretty good. Now to me, that just pops really nicely. I'll turn it off in the preview, and you can see it kind of looks fairly flat, and that kind of looks really nice. The last adjustment you want to make is in the gray area, or the middle color of the histogram. What do you want to do with that? Do you want to have more in the lighter? So you move it this way, you got more pixels on the light side. Do you want more of the pixels on the dark side? So you have to choose what you're going to do there. And I'm going to put it right about there, and I'd be pretty happy with that. Okay? And this is all personal preference, but basically whenever you have a histogram like this, you know, you're not using your full range. And this is basically saying from here, the black point to the white point, I want that to be the full range of my pixels in the picture, and that's what makes it pop. Hope this helps you. If you have any questions, just shoot an email to me and I'll do some more videos for you, okay? Thanks.